Hello everyone, and welcome to another card reading where I talk about the magical weather that is occurring in alignment with our moon phase sequence. So if you watched my last video, I'll put it up here so you guys can see it. We talked about the magical energy or the magical weather that we can work with between the new moon and this current full moon. Now the full moon on June 21st, and also right on the solstice. Well, solstice was yesterday, fair enough, but it is the summer solstice season. And the full moon is happening in a few hours at 9 o'clock p.m. today. So just a few hours from this reading right now, we'll be hitting the full moon. This reading is for the full moon to the new moon, which will take place in July 5th. It's a new moon in Cancer. Now this particular sequence, last reading, this reading, and the next reading, is going to be very interesting because we're in what's called a double header full moon sequence. So this full moon is in Capricorn on the 21st of July, or I'm sorry, 21st of June. The next full moon in July will also be on July 21st and will also be in Capricorn. So it'll be just an interesting moment to see what the cards say and what the energy says about this sequence over the next few readings. The last reading it spoke of a pretty intense time leading up to this full moon. A lot of movement, the moon card, a lot of fears, a lot of illusions, and pushing forward through those and sticking to your path and sticking to your guns. And let me tell you, it was absolutely true for me. I don't know about all of you. I'm working with a new phone because my phone had an unfortunate accident, and the benefit is I have a better video camera, so enjoy the readings from here on out. But it was, I would not say intense, I would say it was very challenging, and there seemed to be a lot going on, a lot of Eight of Wands energy. So now we've hit the full moon. It will be peaking tonight and throughout tomorrow. This reading is about what we can focus on when we are doing magical work as we go from the full moon to the new moon. As the full moon recedes, collapses back in, or shrinks, what can we focus on? What can we work on? All right. So again, this is for the full moon in the June 21st to July 5th and the new moon in Cancer. So I'm going to shuffle these. This is the Druidcraft Tarot. And I love this deck, and I picked this deck out of a stack of cards with my pendulum. I do a lot of work with the pendulum and these cards, as you will see. So we're going to shuffle this, and we're asking, I work with my spirit team to read the cards and get an understanding of what the energies are going to be good for. What are we looking at as far as the magical weather or landscape, the energies in the ether, so to speak. So if you're planning a ritual between the full moon and the new moon, or maybe you're planning a new moon ritual, this will help, hopefully, give you some advice as you start looking at what you're going to work on. All right, I'm going to give them a cut, spread them out, and then going to get to work here. I draw 3 cards. One of these 3 here. There's one. Fan these out again. I have a very small space. I'm going to try and get a slightly bigger space. My camera can take a little bit more of a wider angle. I'm playing with it and still experimenting with it. So I will be reading tomorrow afternoon at Crystal Moon. Again, I'll be doing for 4 hours. I'll be doing short readings for people as part of their special event they're having for summer solstice. Hope everyone's staying cool as we get into the peak of summer. Magical energy. I'm going to put that here. I'll pull those back out here in a second. One more time. It can be a lot faster to pull with my hand, but for some reason, the pendulum just works really well for me. I'm pulling cards. The spirit team wants me to see. Somewhere in here. Okay, where is it? And a little circle to indicate that. Are there any other cards? That's a no. All right, let's see what we have. I'll also finish the reading with a little punctuation from the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. I really enjoy that deck. And let's see what we've got. This one was first, second, and third. All right. Number 1. 5 of Wands. This is good-natured conflict. This is competition. This is sports ball. This is good-natured rivalries, brotherly jousting, and picking on each other, sibling rivalries, but in a fun way. King of Wands, the 5 of Cups, 2 5s. Interesting. I like how these cards go together to kind of create a landscape. So I'm getting a sense that with this card here, there's going to be a lot of it. It's the ability, it's the King of Wands' ability to make conflict or competition playful or challenging. It's sort of a mindset. The King of Wands is the king of the suit of wands. He's the king of his passions, of his creativity. He knows, he's experienced the follies of the page, the mistakes of the knight, and has come to the point where he now knows a lot about what he needs to do to move forward. And with the wands being here, it's like, how can someone that's very creative take what some people might call hard or a problem or a bad day or a bad week? How can you take it and make it fun? How can you make it challenging? Instead of words like bad. There might be some scuffle bumps happening between you and other people, between you and other people's passions and creativity. If you're planning a group ritual with some people, it might be very important to have a central leader that can incorporate everyone's ideas easily, or if not easily, playfully. 5 of Cups is about, in this card, I'm picking up on a lot of loss, or a sense of loss, or a sense of dejection and sadness on an emotional level. And that's going to kind of fuel some of this head-to-head competition or bumping. If you work with the spirit world, you might run into this with playful summer spirits, or you may run into energies that don't at first jive with you, or they purposefully jive against you in order to teach you, in order to grow and learn, because that's what's happening here as these youth are sort of clashing with their sticks. they're learning about each other, and they're learning about themselves, and they're learning about what they can take and how they can improve from their mistakes. And the King of Wands is sort of overseeing this. And I get a sense that if there is a mentor in your life, or someone that you can turn to, or perhaps your higher self that you can work with as you move through this period from this intensity of the full moon down to the new moon, and it'll help you see the seeds of some of this conflict and some of this head bumping that I just got that this figure is the King of Wands in the past, even though it's sort of reversed on that he knows what this is like. He knows this feeling, but he also knows that there were two cups behind him that he needed to be paying attention to, and to not let that dejection and sadness power this, heavily power this. There's a healthy way and an unhealthy way for it to power competition and conflict. For instance, you can use a workout to help you power through some modes of depression. There are other things you can do that aren't as healthy to work with your depression. And that's the kind of thing I'm getting here in regards to the magical weather. It's not going to be smooth sailing between this full moon and the new moon. I think some old issues of sadness and being too much in the feels, sort of, can come up. And the way out of that is to power through with this good-natured playfulness and bouncing against new ideas and seeing where you tumble out of them when you come up against them. So it's not going to be smooth sailing, but it could be educational sailing. That's educational sailing. I think that's what we'll call this video. And in a way, I almost see this. Usually cards are past to future. And I almost see this in reverse, that this is the past the past can come up here in this next 2 weeks, and to let it come out in new ways and be aware of how things are going to bump into how you want to move forward. And rely on your higher self or a mentor with the King of Wands on your creative knowledge, or maybe on their creative knowledge, and tap into that to see how this can work a little better for you, especially if you're planning a ritual with a bunch of other people. I'm getting that very strongly. If you have some plans for a get-together or a group work, it will be a good time to do that, but everyone needs to be aware that there's going to be sticks flying. There's going to be a clash of creative ideas and creative impulses, and it's going to take this steady state of creative mind to work those through. Okay. Yeah, don't spend too much in the sad part of emotions for the next 2 weeks. That's going to come up, but it's going to be crucial that you find ways to power through them magically. New daring things that maybe cause conflict with your old self. Okay, I'm hearing that's good. That's done. I hope that helped. Yeah, definitely a time of almost temperance and transformation. by this center card, this center point of this period between the full moon and the new moon. All right, I'm going to draw a card here real quick from the Angels of Ancestors card just to get a final bump or like I say, an exclamation point or an accent. But I am going to hand pull this. Let's see. It's over here. Maybe it's faster than the pendulum. Right. There. You are not alone. Guardian Angel card, which goes hand in hand with what I was saying about the King of Wands. Look to your guardian angels. Look to your higher self. Look to those spiritual mentors that you have worked with when you have, or even if you're working on a solo ritual. All of us have these. All of us have these, whether we realize them or not. Look to them when it gets bumpy, when there is conflict. Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. I like that. Yeah. Okay, everybody. I hope you have or have had a great full moon. I will be doing another reading. Oh, I'm sorry. I bumped a little too hard. Still getting used to things. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Check out the reading from last week. We're going to take this reading, combine it with, we've combined it with last moon phase, and we're going to move this forward as we go into this double header full moon and see how things go. All right. If you'd like a reading, contact me in the comments. I'd be glad to give you a reading. My appointments are open. Again, Saturday the 22nd, I'll be reading at Crystal Moon Body Arts in Bloomington, Indiana, from 12 to 4 p.m. And come by there if you want a quick little 15-minute reading, or we can talk about getting a longer reading for you as well. Let me know if this helped. Let me know if you have comments or if these cards spoke to you in a way that I didn't bring up. I'm very curious about that as well. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Be well.